Good morning. Welcome. Good to see you all here. Thanks for joining us this morning. My name is Corey as well. If you are new, just want to welcome you. Thank you for joining us, and just relax and enjoy your time with us. This holiday season, this Advent, we are looking at how to steal back joy. How to steal, how to be assertive in taking your joy back amidst the 24/7 bad news feed, right? And everything that's going on out there. It's so easy to get sucked out of your present, isn't it? And just get distracted, get discouraged, just to get overwhelmed by problems across the world that you can do nothing about but pray for. And it's so easy for that to happen. And so this Christmas, we just want to encourage you and give you some tools for how to steal back that joy that can be so elusive in this season, right? And holidays, as we know, particularly can be hard, can be challenging. So we're hoping to help you with that a little bit. This morning, we're going to look at a couple of things around the Christmas story, and our title is A Joyfully Random Christmas. And we're going to look at the faith of Mary. The faith of Mary. And over the next couple of weeks at least, I'm not sure about 3 weeks, that'd be Christmas, Sunday before, anyway, I'm thinking out loud here. But at least the next couple of weeks, I want to submit to you and then show you, try to convince you, if you will, you need convincing, that the Christmas story is actually the story of an invasion. It's the story, perfectly timed. It's the story of an invasion. It is an example of heaven going to war. It's an example of heaven going to war. And Mary shows us in the middle of all of this chaos and violence, she shows us the way to be. The way to be. Because, right, not much has changed in 2,000 years ago when it comes to the world, right? Still lots of tragedy and violence and things like that. But if we're honest, the first thing I want to address this morning, if we're honest, that sometimes life can feel pretty random. I mean, has anything in your life turned out exactly as you planned? No. I don't know how. I used to be a planner. And I still kind of am. But what I've noticed is that plans set me up for expectations. And expectations set me up for disappointments. And, right? And we all hate to be disappointed. And so I pulled back on that plan. There's a balance there. But when tragedy strikes, we instinctively ask why. Don't we? Whether it's divorce or death or illness or job loss. We ask why. It just comes out of us. It's intrinsic in us. Now, there are a segment, really a small percentage of folks. Richard Dawkins, if you're familiar with him, kind of a famous atheist. And his premise is that when you look into the universe, you see a cold, pitiless indifference. That there is no plan. There is no purpose. It is random, and it is hopeless to hope. Because the universe does not care. It does not feel. And it does not care about your problems. And yet, we want purpose so badly. Yeah. We want it so badly. We say things like, well, everything happens for a reason. Anybody ever say that? Or you just haven't met the right person yet. Right? Or a popular one. I don't think it's popular much. I don't believe in coincidences, right? I don't believe in coincidences. Everything is everything has this divine purpose and plan. Or it wasn't meant to be. I guess it wasn't meant to be. The one I hate the most, probably, around tragedy is, well, I guess God needed another angel in heaven. That just gets me. You see, we are hardwired to search for meaning. We are hardwired to search for it, even in the most random events of life. And you notice when things are going, I don't know about you, but for me, and I've heard people say this, so it's not all of us, but for the most part, when things are going well, we don't go, why God? Anybody, right? Right? Your Bitcoin just tripled. Nobody goes, why God? With a fist in the sky. Are you right? No, nobody say, the gorgeous, the handsome person says yes. We don't go, why? I don't deserve this. Some of us do. Some of us, I'm just a worm. Why would you be so pleasant? But for the most part, we just go, well, yeah, it's the universe's job to make me happy. And we just kind of live from that self-centered assumption. Not all of us, right? But a lot of us. And I would submit to you this morning that we long for a meta-narrative, right? That's a big term we long for a grand story with meaning, with purpose, because there is one. There is one. And we see it so powerfully in the Christmas story. You see, at Christmas, God is not avoiding chaos. God is entering into it. He's embodying, coming in the flesh to enter into the chaos and the violence of our world. It is an invasion. Not like body snatchers or anything, but... And God is writing a real story. Luke, and we're going to be in the Gospel of Luke this morning, Luke tells us right from the start. He says this, many have undertaken to draw up an account of the things that have been fulfilled among us, just as they were handed down to us by those who from the first were eyewitnesses and servants of the word. And I just want to tie this word, what Luke is doing here, he's drawing off the language, or vice versa, from John 1. And Charity read that, right? In the beginning was the Word, the Logos of God. And this is what he's referring to. Jesus is who he's referring to. With this in mind, since I myself have carefully investigated everything from the beginning, I too decided to write an orderly account for you, most excellent Theophilus, so that you may know the certainty of the things you have been taught. And I want to pause there just for a second, because this sounds, if you listen to this, right, when we think of story, we think of maybe fairy tale. But this sounds a whole lot different than once upon a time, doesn't it? This is a historian, right? This is a doctor who is ascertaining the facts by doing a thorough investigation of the situation and giving us the benefit of its record. Going on, he says, in the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy, God sent the angel Gabriel to Nazareth, a town in Galilee, to a virgin pledged to be married to a man named Joseph, a descendant of David. And again, I don't want to belabor the point. I just want to pause here. It's like, pay attention to all the details, almost like, okay, Luke, we get it. Right? He is naming people and places and locations and ancestry that is all verified, historically verifiable. The angel went to her and said, greetings, you are highly favored. The Lord is with you. Mary was greatly troubled at his words and wondered what kind of greeting this might be. But the angel said to her, do not be afraid, Mary. You have found favor with God. You will conceive and give birth to a son, and you are to call him Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High. The Lord God will give him the throne of his father David, and he will reign over the house of Jacob forever. His kingdom will never end." "How will this be?" Mary asked the angel, "since I am a virgin?" Right? Another little detail for you. The angel answered, "The Holy Spirit will come on you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you, so that the Holy One to be born will be called the Son of God." Now pay attention. God sends the angel Gabriel not to Rome, center of the universe at the time, not even to Jerusalem, right, the capital, but to a little backwater village, Nazareth. Right, we have the honest account of one of the first disciples of Jesus who says, "Nazareth? Anything good come from Nazareth?" Right? What town is that? Town can you think of? I want to start a fight. I lost my place. Okay. Yeah, to a town in Nazareth, to a poor, young, engaged woman named Mary, who, had we not had this account, Mary, highly likely, 99%, so the scholars say, that she was illiterate, didn't read. Women, didn't get educated by and large in the first century, especially in poor homes. We would just be another little Galilean peasant girl that we'd never hear of or know of. But I want you to pay attention to Mary's response, because it's beautiful, and it can help us in this holiday season when family, right? Don't we love family? We just love family and hate family. Say that in church, can't say hate. Right? But pay attention to her response. It's surrender, not control. Surrender, not control. Mary's troubled. She asks honest questions. And notice, too, that she asks God a question. She doesn't question God. Like, what are you thinking? I'm poor. This is ridiculous. Right? But she asks an honest question. And God, just want to encourage you, God is not at all afraid of our questions, of our anger, of our doubts. And He wants that. He wants a relationship with us. Whatever you know or don't know about God and Jesus, Jesus came to not start another religion, but to reestablish a relationship between God and humanity. And a relationship involves dialogue. It involves doubt. It involves question. It involves, are you sure? Do you love me? Are you sure? It's been 37 years. Are I'm still kind of a screw up sometimes. Right? Relationship involves conversation. God is not afraid of, in fact, He wants our doubt. He wants our honesty. He wants our anger, our bewilderment at this sometimes seemingly random world we inhabit. He wants all that. But notice this, after the angel leaves, there is silence. We don't ever hear of an angel appearing to Mary again. She's pregnant. There's scandal in the community. Joseph hurry and marries her, but we all know, right, the wagging tongues are wagging. There's shame. There's, all of this reality is she is not sheltered from. In fact, it's kind of because of this invasion, it's kind of been thrust upon her. You see, the Christmas story does not read like a Hallmark movie. Who watches the Christmas Hallmark movies right at this time? I do too, okay? I don't like, okay, notice that. It's hard for me to watch them, right? It's a little easier for Kristen, but it's pretty hard for me to watch them because you think, right, in these movies, these B movies, right, you go, nobody would act like that, right? And that would never happen. And nobody talks like that. It's like, can they put a little money in a scriptwriter or something? I mean, acting lessons, anybody? I don't know. But this story, think about this story of Mary. Mary's like she asks questions that you and I would ask. Right? This doesn't read like a Hallmark movie. This reads like a legit, right, conversation. It's powerful. And it's realism. And the reality of the wrestling match and the challenge. And the questions she asks. And there's resistance. Right? If you know the Christmas story, we leave a lot of these parts out. Caesar Augustus declares a census. So, 8 months, 9 months pregnant, whatever, Mary has to go off to Nazareth with Joseph. Long, dangerous journey, like 100 miles. That's as the crow flies. But as the man pulls the donkey, that's days probably. And that's to go there. And not only that, but then, and we'll get into some of this next week, very fascinating, so you do not want to miss it. But King Herod, right? The wise men come, right? The Magi come, and they ask King Herod, hey, where's this baby born? The king of the Jews. And Herod's like, to himself, I'm the king of the Jews. And Herod does what kings do, and right, causes massive death and violence to all the children under 2 years old around Bethlehem. And Joseph's warned in a dream and has to flee in the middle of the night to Egypt. I mean, this is all, we leave this out of, the way in the manger, But is all of this, we can say, we'll get into next week, is it random violence? Is it senseless evil? Or is it warfare? Is this a signal of a world at war? Is this a foiled attempt to thwart an invasion? I'm playing with next week's title, but I'm kind of looking at The Empire Strikes Back. That's pretty prominent. Star Wars is 50 years old, right? Mary never hears from the angel again, and yet she keeps going. She keeps going. See, I want to submit to you this morning that perfect faith is not faith that moves God. Perfect faith moves us to trust God even when He doesn't seem to be moving. And we don't have the constant affirmations. And, who would just like an occasional neon arrow once in a while? Be nice. But if you're not getting it, think of it. I've kind of concluded it this way. And I don't know, this could be just my desire to assuage my feelings or whatever. But I take sometimes God's lack of clear direction in my life as Him trusting me. As Him saying, you're mature enough to not have your hand held anymore. Now, I don't know, that could be my psychosis making me feel better. Not the fact that maybe I'm not God's favorite. I don't know.
Are you?
Yeah. At the end of this exchange with the angel, Mary says simply, I am the Lord's servant. May it be to me as you have said. That's surrender, isn't it? Whatever you say, God. I don't understand. I don't know about all this violence and suffering in the world. But whatever you say, God. That's surrendered trust. I want to encourage you. Christmas tells us there is a plan. even when we can't see. That there is a grand story. And that there is a grand storyteller. And that this story ends good. I mean, you think about even take Star Wars, right? You think about all of our favorite stories. And they all tell of an underdog. Taking on the dragon, the empire, right? The giant, and defeating it. And yet, why are these all of our stories? Because in the world, it's almost always the exact opposite, isn't it? So I would submit to you that implies in us, in our design, in our creation, that we have had eternity put into our hearts by our Creator. And we persistently resist hopelessness. What else could that signify than something about our original design? You see, in this life, not everything will make sense. I want to tell you, no matter what version of Christianity you're familiar with or not, historic Christian spirituality has always held this tension. That not everything will make sense in this life. That there is evil and it is real, and there is a war. And there is a battle of some form going on for our very souls. But at Christmas, we are reminded that there is a grand story unfolding, a divine story. If you notice, and we'll touch on this next week more, but Mary is profound in this way that she communicates. I am the Lord's servant. May it be to me as you have said. You see, Mary knows something in the Christmas story which we so often miss. It tells us how to fight our battles. Because we all have a battle to fight, don't we? And this is how Mary fights her battles. Not with certainty, not with control, but with trust and surrender. I'm going to tell you, my tendency, I wish my tendency is the exact opposite. When I sense danger or threat, right, or I get insecure, uncertain, I want to start controlling. I want to start telling. My wife, she does too, though. Right? Exact opposite. So might Mary be a model to us this morning. A model to us of how to fight our battles. In fact, worship team, would you guys come, and prayer team. I want to actually finish today, and instead of more words, I'd actually like us to pray for one another. And there happens to be a perfect song. This is how I fight my battles. I want to encourage you this moment to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Maybe you've received some unexpected news this year. Maybe some life circumstances feel out of control or senseless. Maybe it doesn't seem like God is moving at all in your life. And if you're honest, you're maybe bewildered, sad. maybe feeling the hopelessness creeping in a little bit. If that's you, with everybody's eyes closed, I just want you to raise your hand. Just kind of acknowledge that to God. That's, Anybody else? It's something that would be physically powerful to acknowledge. So if you would stand with me, and I'd like to pray over you. And if you raised your hand, and I'm the only one that knows, if you raised your hand, I would encourage you, because we're singing this song. I'm going to be standing right up here facing that way. And I'm going to be singing this song at the top of my lungs because, honestly, this has been a year for me that I've been a little bewildered. And I've been a little bit, where are you, God? In circumstances of my life. So I am with you in this prayer. I'm with you in this desire to learn how to fight like Mary. To surrender. To surrender. Lord Jesus, I just pray that you would help us. Help us to see this beautifully powerful example that Mary gives us. She says, whatever you say, God. Help us to surrender and trust you to fight our battles. Let's sing.